Sorry.
All right, that's a good point. So I can see well Joanne right now. So I'm negotiating with IPSUS, okay, to help us in research and other things that they suggested actually, and with another company that I still have to send them some kind of proposal, which is Kantar. They are both European, yeah. So then you are not going to have dependence on Forrester that in the first week approached us, and after I told them that we have 20 people, they said, oh, we are not interested. So so that's a good thing. Unfortunately, SAP said they are going to continue with us, but they simply come yesterday in the afternoon. They gave me a call, so the people from the Kai team, and they told me that we are going to advance only after the summer, right? And I have every single thing prepared. That was really, to be very honest, was extremely frustrating for me, as you can see here. All was extremely well prepared. We did, oh, excuse me. We did everything here to get this thing right. And they simply, in my perception, was not a big respect for the other people time, but anyway, learning and living, okay. Next time when they approach us again, I will have different experience, so I know how to do right the next time. I'm not going to give my time so easy for companies that are big, but I learned it, so that's a good thing. Let's talk about ambassadors' objectives, okay? And that's very important for me because I did a test during the last month and a half, and I did not invite nobody. And the reason why I did that, many of you are really helping in different areas, and that's very important for me, and I appreciated that. The other area that we are somehow failing, right, when I don't do my homework, in my case, yes, if I don't invite people, they don't come. That's what I learned. And if I don't post things in social media, obviously they are not going to come because they want to see action, even if it's a small thing. So we are going to get something right about social media, all right? We need to raise the game here about social media, and I'm taking care of that to the next month, start to deal with that. We are going to have more videos. We are preparing our inspirational video for all of you. And we'll have probably we'll have a video in French. Yes, and Olivier, Vincent, and Sue, they are going to help me with my great French to make sure that somebody will understand. So we are going to have to somebody here. Oh, two. I left him alone. Two, I'm sorry that I left you out.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. So we are advancing those things, and we are going to use the intro and the outro to the videos that we are doing, so then I can invite more people and be faster in organizing things, right? And you have a guy working with us, potentially from Portugal, to advance with me everything that I have in videos, not just ECXO, but also my own videos. So that will be great. So the goals of the ambassadors, just to clarify that, and that's very important for me that we all are on the same page. Like is great, all right? I really like that you like me. But, okay, the point is we need something else. We need, if people can, they can share that, all right? Because that will help give more exposure for this ECXO. And also comment, but when you comment in the LinkedIn, you are actually putting all your network is seeing that. So that's what we really expect from you and would like to ask you to do that. Bring new members is part of the agreement, right? And we really need help on bringing new members, because if everything will depend on me, and this is an organization that will serve many people and is not serving me both financially and also for my reason to live, right? I think it will serve Europe market, will serve you, will serve everyone, also including me, obviously, right? So I think it will be fair enough to ask you to bring members, to invite people, to do everything that you can to bring more people on board, because that will help us a lot, all right? In the default, only 10 people come without invitations. 10 people arrived. Actually, 15 people arrived. Different people drive many people to our community. All right. But this is that was great for me to understand what's happening in terms of bringing people on board. So I need the real help. The motive of ambassadors to exist, yes, is also to help us to bring people on board. The places that I know that I am failing, all right, is material production. I don't have the bandwidth to produce that now because I'm already too much in the stream. But I'm trying to get more variety of articles inside without promoting companies and without promoting different people that I don't, that's a personal thing, that I don't like the articles or I think it's too shallow, etc. All right. But I'm trying to bring good material that I find easily. I cannot invest 5 days of my week doing that because it takes hours to find great material to read and to post, because I have to be at least something of decent quality. And it's not easy to find those. We have a lot of material in the web, but not all are very quality in what I perceive as quality. And the good thing about that is that you perceive quality and your views are very different than mine. So I appreciate also if you post things based in the groups that you have the topics, all right? And if you want to, for example, put a vlogcast, you have a place there that is a blog and vlog for you, post as article or as a video, whatever you want. Yes, just in an organized way to avoid giving bad examples for the people coming on board, to keep that organized in certain way. So you have your countries, you have the topics, and you can choose how to post that. There are many different ways to post those things. So this is plus minus about the requirements of ambassadors. And the other thing I'd like to talk with you is about the work that we are doing in the back office here, in this office here in my house. So I'm talking with many companies, I'm contacting many people. Okay, I reach out for Kantar, Ipsos, I reached them out also, and they got very interested. SAP reached us out, and they actually postponed this. That was kind of annoying, but anyway. But that's the situation, okay? If we don't advance by ourselves the contacts, and as I'm looking for sponsors right now, we have the first real lead that I'm going to be speaking with them in the 5th of July. That was introduced by me by one ambassador. We need help on that to get close to the companies, all right? Enrique introduced me to Medalha, obviously, as he is there. I spoke with them already one time, but they did not follow up. So now we'll try another way. And Silvana introduced me for another company, and she's going to introduce for more companies. We are advancing that. And I will appreciate if you can do also that, okay? And obviously, when you introduce somebody and we close the deal with them, obviously you have your part as agreed in the ambassadors agreement that we send you, right? So that's not the issue, but we really need help to do that. And our preference obviously is Europe, but to be very honest, I'm sorry about that, but SAP was really my aim to work with them. I'm not sure that I will be waiting for them, all right? So always open right now. That's my perception right now, but I still obviously wanting European companies that is better for us because we are Europeans. Upcoming team, let's talk about that. So I cannot manage, as you can see, as that takes me a lot of time to manage this thing, and is much slower than was before because 2 guys instead of one only, that I have to work a lot, and my work is really intensive in terms of meetings and doing things. So not saying that yours is not, but just I'm telling my situation. So what I'd like to do is to create a team. So I'm talking with many of you that you already know who they are. And to create a team here that will be kind of, I will not say a board, because I really don't care about those things, but eventually will be a board. But the goal is to create a group that can get things done together, and not everything will be with me. I can lead that for 5 years or something like that, obviously. But I would like to have people that are responsible for different parts of the things to make my life easier, and I think it will be good for everyone. So hello, Lisa, welcome. And that's, so I think it will be beneficial for everyone, so then everybody can lead and can add a value more proactively, and not going to be what I think, because sometimes I don't have the right thoughts as well. Yeah, so I always like to have this collaboration with people. Yes, we co-create things. I think the results are always better than one guy thinking alone. Okay, so that's what I believe. I think this can be fruitful for the organization in the future. Partnerships. Let me show you something here for a second. Just a second. I have to open this. So we are preparing a page here. Okay, it's not live yet. That will have many brands here. Strategic partners yet is here. Later we'll have a different kind of page and different title, but because you have so few, I'd like to keep one page, very simple. Media partners, associated brands, and strategic partners, right? That's what you have here. And you have another page, which I have to close because which is going to be on live, I think next week or in the end of this week, which is sponsors, where I did not add the prices, but I added all the information that they need to engage with us. If they engage, then we can take care of the rest. All right, so we are preparing this page right now. The design is not really yet what I want to be, but we are going to get there. Let me show you here just a second. Here it is. So soon you can drive those, everybody here. This is a beta, okay, so it's not prepared yet. This is going to be the thing, but as you can see, the design is, because the designer have some improvement to do. Anyway, that's what we're starting with. Partnerships. So we are going to use that, and we are doing partnerships slowly, always, as I mentioned before. We have a very creative company trying to work with us, and they want to really advance with us. And the other thing that I would like to do is to tell you that my intention is to get some angel investors. So because if you have the capital, we can get this thing up running faster, and it's not going to depend of my own capital. So that will be great for me and great for everyone as an organization, and to make this thing grow. So I'm checking the possibilities. If you know anything, please let me know. All right. Right now, there are people based in my regions. Yes, I spoke with the guys in Pitango. Pitango is a huge VC in Israel, where Jimmy Paris is the leader. I know him from my MBA in the past. And he told me that he cannot do that because they deal only with tech, but he's going to drive me in some way or other to get the right people. And I also got contacts in SAP, in VC, I don't remember the name, but it's a kind of spin-off of SAP in order to help us with investment, to see what will happen with that. But that's a really focus that I have also, because if I keep going that rhythm, I don't think that's will be in the rhythm that I want to be. I want to be much more dynamic here with a team, and with what I just told you, I think we can raise the bar fast. Joanna have some good ideas also about how to do things. She told me already the ideas, and we are going to use her skills to do many things. I cannot mention yet what, but Joanna, if you make success for all of us, if you fail in her ideas, we accuse her, and that's great. I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. So don't worry. So I'm sure we're going to be successful with your ideas. I did a part, as I told you, as I wanted to advance SAP very fast, and that was my frustration, because then it would create opportunities for all of us. However, because we have this delay, we are going to advance with other companies, all right? So some of you already spoke with Engati, and Engati is very connected with me, because in the beginning of the CX, those campaigns, I helped them to get many people to talk there, etc. People that I trusted that are very good. So I spoke with them a few weeks ago, and we decided to do something together that will involve discussions, and it will involve also CX, and everybody will talk there about us, ECXO, because we all represent ECXO, but we are going also to talk about our own business and our own customer experience, or whatever is your experiences with them, and you are going to organize with them the way to do that. Yes, but it will be a standard kind of, we'll have both logos, etc. I already spoke with them. I just have to supply them names, and I'm building the list right now. We'll need my, like, plus minus 7 names. I have already 5, so we need more 2, and I'm checking that. We'll have some also US oriented podcasts that I'm speaking with the guys in the US that are very, very popular, right? And we are going to get some of the ambassadors also there, the same goal, partnerships with them. They merchandise, we merchandise, and that's the way to go. That is a cost-effectively way of getting our word out there. So I'm doing those kinds of agreements with different companies. Engati is an Indian company, all right? And when you say Indian company, people have different perceptions of that. But Engati is a great marketing company. They did a campaign that all of us around the globe copy, actually. Every company today is copying Engati kind of marketing with videos and different posts about you, about your articles. So they do great campaigns, and I can tell you that Shep Hiking told me, wow, he told me like that, not in that words, but similar to what I'm telling you now. He told me, when I saw the marketing that those guys are doing for me, I said, I don't need nothing from them. I will pay for them to work for me, because he was so happy about that. So they promote everyone that talk with them, and they will help us to get more people on board. All right, so this is what I'm trying to do right now in order to promote ourselves, okay? And the videos are also will be posted in your community. The other thing we are doing in the company that I mentioned in the beginning from Federico, all right? I have a agreement with Federico that is going to interview some of us, all right? And those people that we asked to participate, we invited you, please respond to Enrique, okay? Send you mails already, but that's very important to get this running, all right? We are going to go one by one, and then you share, and everybody, then we create a buzz, because only buzz can help us in this stage of the running train, yes. Participating in webinars. We'll have also discussions, okay? And I would like to involve also the members, and I'm scheduling next week a meeting with all members in four different parts, because they are 400 and something, to talk with them and to tell them what's coming, because I would like to involve them in the discussions, not just us. First us, because we are the leading people here, we are the ambassadors, but later on I would like to help them, because that's what's community about. It's not about us, about them. That's the idea here. Plus minus, that's all right? So now, first, I would like to hear your thoughts, your questions, because Joanna, you can. So then I can go one by one, and you can discuss. Hi, I am transit to. Yes, I know that's okay.
Yeah. Alan asked a question earlier about how many members we've got, Ricardo.
So the number of our members is the staggering number of 3 million. No, I'm kidding. 443, okay. And the only reason it's not 500 is because I stopped to engage people and stopped to invite people from different companies that they was bringing also more peers that they have in different companies to test that in the last 1 month and a half to see what's really happening. If I stop tomorrow to invite people or to talk with people, what will happen? And as I mentioned, the outcome was not very good. So I'm concerned. Therefore, I really mentioned that's the reason why I mentioned the ambassadors' objectives, the likes, the shares, the comments, and bringing new members on board, because that was the initial goal, right? And that is also the reason I spoke with many of you in the beginning, because some when to the people that I brought on board was clear for them the objective, because I stated that up front, but some other people did not know that, so I have to clarify that. So that's the reason. So we are not growing fast as I wanted, but because we stopped the effort, and also I had a lot of work with Samsung, and also with SAP took a lot of my time. But I can promise one thing: next time they're going to be paying to work with us. It's not going to be for free, and it's not going to be for my time, exchange of my time. That was a wrong move from me. I would say a lack of experience with community and with dealing with a company from a perspective of a startup. You know, because I never had a perspective of a startup, because I always worked with them all the time. So I never have this thing. But ECXO, in the end of the day, is a startup. So we have to learn how to deal with large companies in a time effectively way for us, not for them. They have all the budgets and they did not invest 1 cent. So all the loss is in your side.
But Ricardo, you know, I'm thinking that maybe we should also ask, you know, what are the challenges with actually getting more members on board?
Yeah, that's a good point. I forgot something. You remind me this. So we are doing in France. We have some problems, some challenges. We have challenges everywhere, but we are first. For me, France is very important, right? There is a reason why the Tower Eiffel is in the front page, right? So Olivier, Vincent, and Sue, they told me that they want to do a video, blah, blah, blah. We spoke about that many times. So they prepared the video. The video is actually done. What is missing is a great introduction and a great outro from the video to engage the French people. So we are finishing one that I'm working with a guy in Portugal right now. I did not show the result. I just told him what I want from him. So it will take some time to get to see what is the result. To take more 1 or 2 weeks, because this goes slow with him. And then I'm going to do the same thing, but in French. And we probably are going to do the same in German later, because there are those 2 countries are very, and forgive me, I know that we have many Germans here right now. Heiner is here, Mr. Howard is here, and Silvana. But those countries you have to treat in a special way, because they keep their language, they keep their culture more strongly than others. Yes, and so we have to give more attention for those countries. It's not like Scandinavia that you go there, people don't bother to talk with you in English, no problem. Or you go to Holland, it's the same, as nobody cares to talk with you in English or in Chinese if they know. So it's a very different environment. So we are going to tackle that to get as more people as possible inside, doing the messages in their language. Yeah, so I'm learning French right now, and we expect from all ambassadors to learn French as well, right? Very fast in 1 week, to put your message there. And in 10 years, I will put my message there in French as well. But in the meantime, will be only Vincent, Sue, Olivier, and some other members of the community that they are French, right? That I invited them to also make a video similar to what Olivier and the other team members did, which I think, I don't understand a word, but I think looks good at least. If it's good words or not, Olivier and Vincent and Sue, you have to know by yourselves. I cannot judge that, unfortunately. Yeah, that's the situation. So we're going to tackle videos, all right? I'm a very visual person. So for me, it's easier than writing because writing takes me long and I'm not, I don't have the time right now to write many things. So I'm just trying to get this thing up and running, all right? And I think video is a good way. Later we can do something for Scandinavia and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And in Scandinavia, unfortunately, we are not going to do one for each country because then I want to do 4, but we are going to do one because they accept English very well, yeah, because they speak better English than British people sometimes. So I think that it would be great to have in English to open the intro and having the people just having messages in their own language, and then it will be like Scandinavia. I think can be looking very nicely in that way. And later we're going to have to other countries as we grow up. I think Italy, that there are many problems there, you know, the different countries. So we'll see what will happen. All right. So, but that's the objective that I have. Now, your commentaries, more questions, and I want to hear what you think, how you think that we can bring more people on board, because that's the points, and also how to use what you do like to have in order to create more, to bring more people on board.
Michael here. I think that you know, one thing that I've noticed, and maybe I'm looking at it wrongly, and others can comment as well, right? I mean, it's okay getting people on board, and as you said, you know, Ricardo, we have about 440 members, but I think, you know, what we want to try and do also is to try and increase the activity in the forum itself, right? And I know, you know, Graham has been posting quite a lot of stuff, and I try and post stuff too. And I think, you know, we have to try and find, you know, what it is that gets people out of their shell, and how, because, you know, I was looking down the list of members and I saw that, you know, some members, you know, hadn't been active again. You know, they joined right at the beginning and they've not been active since then. So I think, you know, we need to try and find a way to also, you know, it's also all right getting new members on board, but we have to try and increase the activity in the forum itself and get people to, you know, the discussion started in many places, you know, not just one discussion, but many different topics, and, you know, to try and get. So I would ask Ambassador also to, you know, to post more stuff in the forum, and I don't think it always has to be articles, you know. I mean, I sometimes post some very simple questions, you know, maybe sometimes a little bit controversial, you know, to try and get people out of their shell to say, well, actually, you know, what Mike's saying is a load of rubbish. You know, I hope it's not, but I hope it, you know, that in some cases is things that people feel strongly about and are willing to express an opinion. I don't know what do other people think, and of course that's also something that can be used then in social media. You know, when say in ECXO we're having a discussion about this, why not come and join us and give us your opinion, something like that.
That's a great point. That's a great point, Michael, and that's extremely important because that's the big challenge that we discussed that before, and that's the big challenge that I have to engage people inside. Yeah, that's the things I'm doing. That Sunday, I'm adding articles, scheduling for 10 days all the time.
Yeah,
and takes hours, but quality is very important. Yes, not just and things that will help us to get better. That's the important thing. So that's part of the deal, and putting the right places very helpful, because then we don't give examples of making a mess in the system, putting anywhere, but you have the topics, and we can add more topics. You just have to request if I forgot something. And also we have the countries, and so it's very easy to post things there.
Ricardo, I was thinking, because I also people love to help people. So quite often, you know, if you are in a situation as within your profession and you're just looking for advice in general, you know, I think that it would be really nice to be able to put that out also within our community, because I see from other communities that it's often those sort of interactions that create the most activity. Although I'm not sure where to put that kind of question. I was thinking about it, actually. This is like an example, you know, I've got the opportunity to give a talk, and I was thinking, oh, I'm not really sure what subject to like go for, or what title. And I was thinking, you know, this would be a great question to ask out to the ambassadors, because there's so many people who've got so many great ideas, and it would really create a lot of discussion and activity possibly. But I don't know where to put it.
I will show you. So I'll show everyone right now this. Here you have the subjects, the topics. If you want to put talks, you want to put your webinars, whatever, yes, related to us, yes, not related to our topics, and not CXPA or those kinds of things. But you can also use that, because people that spoke here, they are from CXPA. You have here pod vlog cast, you can post here. If you have articles, you can post here in the blog. All right. So
but
it's very
like
easy.
Not anything that's made already. This is like a general help me question. Like, I'm reaching out to this organization. Anybody got any good suggestions?
Oh, that's a good thing.
So you mean like to add a topic help with an exclamation bar?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So here will be your topic. Yes, you can come here and put a question. Yes.
Just in home.
Yeah, home, and then you post here. You have to add a subject anyway, right? And blah 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 blah. Being, or you can schedule that as well. Not here. Oh, you can schedule here as well. And my advice for all of you, if you want to post, you know, organized way, that will be, for example, you can put 5 posts together. So then, 1 second. You go here. Excuse me. You have this cross. Press this article. That's the way I do. Then you put the article title here. You put a part of the article here to have some ask a question to engage. Put the link below. You have places here. And when you want to use a picture, it's very important to put the picture below everything, otherwise it becomes a mess. I don't know why, but that's what happens. All right. So then you go here, blue, and that's all. Then you post here, or you schedule for 10 days with some space between them, and that's all you need to do it. Very simple, right? So, and if anybody here needs an explanation, I can explain you 100 times, and maybe I will do a video from that, so then it will help you later if you need that. All right, so that's the idea. If you have a topic, you have groups here, we have different countries, etc. Any topic that you want to post here, you can post here. And when you add here, this is going to stay in the topic. So then you don't need anymore to add the what's connected with as the tag that you have to do it. So it's direct. It's a very simple system. And another thing that I would like to tell you is the courses. 1 second. So we still have 2 courses here, yes. And we would like to talk, and I spoke with some people here already, and we are going to post here some of your things, all right, to also create track for you. There is the company Belgium and Partners. They have, for example, a very good report that they are producing right now. So they are going to post here. So there are many things we can do here, you know, to create value for us ambassadors. Yes, and that's the intention. This exists to create value for all of us, but also the community. And hi, Mr. Harold. And The other thing that is important here is that the community, as I mentioned, so I'm going to engage with them in a conversation, and I would appreciate if some of the ambassadors can be in these conversations, at least to help me, because there'll be, I assume, a lot of people there. So then we can engage with them in a proper way to start a discussion, because I really want to bring them on board. In the moment that they feel that they are part, they are not being we are not telling them, just posting our own posts, etc. I think they will feel more a part of this, and this can create opportunities for us, etc., etc. That's the kind of approach I have. Now, your thoughts about this approach, and if there is any question also, please. And everybody was quiet. So there's, well, you think this is a good approach, or do you think this is a bad approach? Just that's the question. Nobody thinks nothing. Okay, so I assume this is a good way to go. All right. So
Bro, didn't see the thumbs up, Ricardo, but
oh, I
yeah,
cannot see that. I cannot see
Yeah,
that.
so
Just tell me when I ask. They'll tell me,
Oh, yeah,
because I'm
yeah.
not visual. I'm not seeing
You're not
nothing.
visualizing it. No. I think it's a good approach. I think we all could do much more, including myself, which I intend to do. And I'm involved in a couple of these communities, and we all suffer from the same thing. Is we see a lot of traction at the beginning, like Michael said. Then it drops down, and the majority of that is myself. So it's what is the hook? We really have to find hooks that keeps people involved.
The hook is to have people involved and people participating. That's the hook. And we are going to open, I forgot to say that, that's a great point. We are going to open in a month. I don't know how long it will take to organize that, but we are going to open the possibility to everyone put their own articles. All right, we are going only to have to approve that. So I don't have this, like Kirsty sent me, Kirsty, are you here? I think she's here somewhere. Kirsty? She's not here anymore, but anyway.
She was here.
So she sent me an article and took me 1 month to post the article, because I was busy with many different things, you know, and I could not post. So I think this is I don't want to be the bottleneck as for myself. So what I would like to do is to give the possibility for everyone to write. It will be the same approach that a customer think have. It's a very simple way of posting, very objective, and I think is very good, and can help us not just in SEO, but can help us to promote everyone, because for us it's very easy to promote everyone. Now we have the buffer, we have Lara, we have everything that will take us to promote those things. Another thing that I forgot to mention that is important about promotion. I'm speaking, I did a partnership with the guys in the Middle East, right? Which will have, I think, 3 or 4 speakers from our part there. We had a scheduled talk for me or for Silvana in Denmark, but this is recently I got a mail saying that the guy that was talking to me did not update the guy that was responsible, and so I would not participate. So kind of frustrating, but that's life. In the CX day in September, October, something like that. Anyway, so we have the talks in Dubai starting in the year, right, in November, where Michael will be speaking. And actually, Michael opened the store for me there. And they are going to help us, and they will become our partners slowly, all right? Very nice people there. They are from India as well, living 17 years in Dubai, very nice people. And I believe that with them we can advance something. We also have a partnership, and the reason of this partnership is different, because I helped the guys in Latin America to create their own community, all right, in the CX LA. And the reason I did that is because Latin America did not have an organization, and because they are my friends, so I give them some hints. They are doing much better job than we are doing, to be very honest, because things are much cheaper, they work in a different way. But they are actually based in the American model, and we don't want to be based in the American model, even though we use a lot of things that they develop, and that's great. Yeah, we are not stealing. We are not. We are making better. That's the European approach. So we're establishing things right now, and I think I showed you before in the page the logos. Early on when I started this thing, Mr. Harold Hahn, he opened some doors for me in Schweiz with one of the best websites there of technology. So the guy come to me and we spoke many times. And now they will have our logo with us after a month that I promised him that would be here. And we will have the same. I invite you, some of you also to have the logos, people that are helping us, like practically obviously this is open. All right, so you can have as associated brand with us. And the intention I have later on is to charge companies to have participate with us in associated brands, but we are not there yet. All right, there are companies in the world, associations in the world doing that here in Europe, and I like it, the model. I think we can make some profit from that and can be good for the brands to associate with us in the future. Not yet, because we're far away from where we aim to be. All right. About trainings, I'd like to say something. I have more 2 weeks to negotiate with 2 companies that I'm doing that. And then Silvana, Joanna, and everybody that will be involved in developing our own CX elements, as we discussed, will be involved. All right. And then we're going to run with those companies or without them. But I cannot wait so much for the different past. They are very slow and I'm very fast because I want to make this happen. So it will take some time, but I think we are going to advance forward. Heiner, the people in Germany, they already have trainings. We have trainings in Silvana have their own training. So we're going to make a mix of quality, create something great for ECXO that everybody would like to have later on to be a kind of as you mentioned, Graham, you said something about European style. I don't remember the word, but some kind of what was the word?
Adult.
No, not adult. It was something that you said about branding in terms of being more fancy. I don't remember the word you mentioned that today morning. I just don't remember the word that you mentioned. Mention a nice word. I think we have more. We need more than the Americans. Okay, they need 6 pillars. We need the 10 pillars because you focus in design, you focus in different things that they don't. And actually, that's great because you can create much more quality. I believe really on that. Right. So we have Michael that is worked for years in the market of creating, testing, trainings. So he have a huge experience in this market. So he will help us, right? And many other people will help us. So that's the way we are seeing. We tried in the beginning to engage other people and other companies, but unfortunately, people that spoke with me and they did not deliver in the end of the day. So I give up and I decided to do by ourselves. And we are strongly advancing with CX Academy, which I really like what they did. I saw their trainings. I think it's great quality, but I want to do something different than what they did, or maybe even with them later on. We'll negotiate that in the future, but that's also an open possibility. All right, but to do that and to achieve all those goals, we really need a great team here because alone you go 100 meters, with a team you go 1,000. So that's what I believe. All right, so that's plus minus what I have to say. Oh, I have another thing. Sorry, forgot here my list. I have a question for you. So 2 groups of those awards, like Centricity Award, I don't remember the names. There are many. There's one group from the British guy that calls Neil Shekel. Yes, he have many different
Awards
players.
International.
Yeah, exactly. And there's another group from Germany.
That's the one with Marcus Kloden.
Exactly.
The DAX, yes.
Yeah,
right.
so they come to me, we spoke with them, and they propose me to be. I promote them, they promote me, but they come in a kind of style that one of them comes with a very different style that I did not expect. Said, I am like that. I have 15,000 people. I have that and that and that. How you can help me? So I told them this is not the way to start even a conversation. And I'm not sure that I want to go in that way. So I'd like to just ask your opinions about what to do with that. I believe but that's my belief, is that we should not engage with them because we have a different objective. But what do you think?
Look, my opinion is the following. There's one organization that I'm happy to judge for because they don't charge me for judging. And there are two organizations that actually charge you to judge, and I don't believe that I should be putting my time at somebody's disposal, and giving them the benefit of my experience and having to pay for that, right? They say you get exposure, but actually exposure is something you die from. So I don't need that kind of exposure. But ultimately, the way that I'm happy to judge, but I think that the way that these awards are presented is wrong, right? Because I think it makes the people who win, it gives them the impression that they're really best in class, and in many cases that's not the case. They have to pay to join. In many cases, it's a pat on the back. It's saying you're doing a good job, continue like that. But that doesn't necessarily mean they're best in class, right? So to be honest, I have a little bit of a problem with the way that these awards are marketed, right? I think you and I discussed this a little bit. I think that what we could be looking at as a group is something which is more in the way of like a maturity model or something, if you like, a bit the CX version of ISO 9001, right? Where you go into a company, you audit them, according to certain criteria, and then you give them some kind of a, I wouldn't say an award, but let's say a certificate saying, okay, we've checked you over, we've checked your processes, we've checked your culture, and we've given you, let's say, this bronze, silver, gold certificate, and it's valid for 2 years. And if you want to keep it, you have to have another audit in a couple of years' time. I think that this would be more valuable than these award certificates, which to be honest, there's something and nothing. That's my opinion.
Fully agree. And also, we don't have influence on what some organizations or whatever call them are doing. So we, I think, in fully agreement with what you just said. And if you don't have 100% impact and influence on the quality and what they do, we should stay away from it. So fully agree.
And with Harold and Michael, I don't think it's our right to judge other organizations' efforts because we don't see what they're trying to achieve. We don't see where they are on the journey. And I think it puts us in a very uncomfortable elitist position, which is not what this movement's about.
Yeah, during the time we built the roadmap in the beginning, I thought about doing something like that, because I think what Michael said is so right, as kind of charging the people to be judged. That's really strange for me. And the parameters, I don't think they are great. I saw what my customer is trying to do regarding a leader. At least that's I find that nice. But and I know that Graham mentioned to me a place that he likes a lot about awards that I don't remember the name, but starts with E. What was the name, Graham?
A place at what, sorry?
You mentioned a name for me about.
No, you're talking about marketing now. We're talking about the FEs.
Exactly.
Marketing awards, it's been run for 30 years now. We have hard data about what works in marketing. We have no hard data in CX at all anywhere currently. All
right, so that means we have opportunity here to do something better. Yeah, but we cannot. The point is, this is obviously something that I would like to do, but only as a team we can do that, because if you depend on me, you get more 5 years in the roadmap, because I don't have bandwidth to create everything by myself. Remember, I'm still working. So I think we building the team and dividing the activities, yes, and being kind of, as I mentioned to everybody that I engaged with them to speak, we take the ownership. That doesn't mean because I started this thing is mine, it's yours as is mine. You understand? That's why you see that, and that will be very helpful. All right, and that's the reason why I wanted this team, because I believe that the people we are going to bring on board, they have this drive of they take ownership about things, and that's the kind of people we want here. Yes, and they are trying to help in different ways that is not always visible, but they are doing that. So I think we can create something, not yet, but we can create something, and we can even start to talk about that, because that can be in the way. But first, I do think instead of doing that and becoming more one, I want to be special. And to be special, we need to have partners for research. We need to have partners for different things, as we spoke around many times. And I believe we are in the right way, just for my taste and based on how I work. Is very slow. And unfortunately, the only cause for being slow is me. I'm my own bottleneck, but that's the truth. I don't have more capability. I'm working also weekend. So as a family, we don't have more weekends, and that's really tough for me already, because I don't have a time to relax, especially because we're in COVID. But that's what's happening, and that's not for the long term is not healthy even. So if we, if you divide the responsibility, it will be easier for me, and that's the reason I'm going to create this team. We are going to share also parts of the things that will come in the future. This is not a for-profit organization, as I mentioned. We are going to have profit. Yes, we are going to have profit, but that will be reinvested. And maybe in the future we'll have a board, that's the goal. But the board, we'll get to the board when we are prepared for that and we are more mature. And right now we're in the starting up phase. And we keep, during the next 2 years, I'm not taking a cent, even if you become profit. And I'm just reinvesting all the times. But yet comes from my budget, what I allocated for ECXO. So I want to change that for sponsors. That's all thing. So I believe in hours, but hour that will be cool for the society. And I like the idea that Jeff said. Bye, Jeff. Have a great day. And that's all. Yeah, that's the way to go. So the question for you: can you ambassadors help us more practically and more helping us like, share, comment, bringing people on board? Because this is the key. As more people we have on board, more power we have, more sponsors will be interested on us. And if you don't have the people, the interest will be much less. We are going to be less attractive, even though we all are very attractive people. You know how we look, that's not enough. We need content, because our faces that are very nice from everyone here, they are not going to pass the test of time, but our content, our core will, and that's the important part. And regarding material for the things for inside the network, in terms of trainings, etc., that's where I see we creating things that will be a value for the market, but this will take time. I calculated it's 440 to 50 hours per module. Okay, that's what it will take. So that's a lot of effort, but we'll do that. I will do that anyway, because that's the goal. I think Europe have a huge place for education in terms of corporate education, and I want to grab this market. Any commentary?
I think you're right. ECXO is a multi-sided market platform. The economics of multi-sided markets are different to single-sided markets. We have only one job to do currently, and that is to get members, however we can, from wherever they come. We don't care who they are. We really don't care. Come on board as fast as possible. We don't care what we do initially when they come on board, because they just need to have them so we can think about what to do to keep them engaged and get them more engaged over time. But the only job we really have to do currently is to get as many members as fast as possible. Because only by getting members will we attract corporate sponsors, the other side of our multi-sided market. When we have lots of members, training people will come, corporate sponsors will come, others will come as we achieve network effects. So everything we do should be focused on one thing only, getting members and making it so as effortless as possible to become a member, irrespective of what they do when they get there. I've built markets like this for corporates in the past and worked on these sorts of markets, comparison platforms and what have you. We know how these things work.
And yeah, and a part of that also adding your own material there that will help us a lot with questions to engage the people, and then you'll see who is engaged, who is not, just to trigger the discussion. As because if you all the leaders here are only discussing, that's not enough. We need the community to engage you first to enjoy the thing. In the beginning, the plan was Adrian would be doing that. Yes, we have a kind of roadmap of different questions and subjects, but this is his strength. That's not my strength. So that's the reason I need help here. And that's the reason also I invited him, because I knew that that's his strength. So we need to get start to engage the people in that way that we discussed before, as Michael mentioned, and also as Graham just mentioned here, to get this thing up running. Are you up to the task, my friends?
Oh well, you know what? The best that we can do is do our best, right? I mean, if we give it our best shot, then we'll know we've tried everything, right? I think that, you know, maybe we have to go back to trying to plug some stuff on social media. I had an interview last night. It's not been released yet with Gregorio Ulioni, you know, the CX goalkeeper. And ECXO came up, and I, you know, tried to plug it and said it was a great place to be. You know, good discussions in a civilized, you know, way, right? And so you know, hopefully any of our members who or any of the ambassadors who have the opportunity to give interviews like that, and I saw, for instance, Federico's interview with Joanna. Also had the ECXO symbol there, and I thought that was really good. So if we can use these kind of opportunities, I think that's good too.
Yeah, and also I spoke with Federico about that, and we are going to ask a question about that to people engaged and mention about that. I also spoke with. Can you repeat his name?
Gregorio Leone.
I spoke with him. We are going to do something with him as well.
Yeah.
All right. Then you have all the Schweiz in your hands.
So I mean, the thing with Gregorio is that, you know, he's someone typically Swiss, right? I could say this because I'm Swiss also, right? He's typically Swiss in that he'll be very neutral, right? I mean, he has his relationship with CXPA. I mean, hell, look, I'm a CXPA member too.
Yeah, I spoke with him about that.
Yeah, and you know, one of the things that I've noticed on LinkedIn, for instance, at the moment is, you know, there's a little bit of too much animosity within the CX crowd. You know, people going around saying this is crap, that's crap, this is BS, that's BS, and I don't think we really want to engage in that, right?
No.
I think we have a European market. We want to concentrate on Europe, and I think that's, you know, how we need to place ourselves primarily. You know, so yeah, okay, CXPA is there, you know, they're not going anywhere, but I think we can exist certainly for now in parallel. We have to build up our following, and yeah, use opportunities like, you know, interviews with Greg and stuff to try and place ourselves and get ourselves known.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do. I just did not close it with him, the deal, because I did not have time, but I closed it with many other people, and we're going to advance. But we started with Federico. Okay, Federico is doing the interviews right now.
Sure.
And I think it's going to go really good for us with many different podcasts. And Federico have very unique style, and I love it that when he interviewed me. So I think can be really good for everyone here. And also CX goalkeeper, I think is a nice style. And the Engati is more, even though I am agreeing with them in certain things about the podcast that some of you have, they have a unique style that honestly, I did that. I invited many people to participate, but I don't like the merchandise in the beginning. I think is, you know, they use obviously that's the goal, but I don't like, so I asked them if they can do something else in the end instead of making the beginning to be less aggressive.
Don't forget, we should remember the words of Oscar Wilde. The only thing worse than being in the news is not being in the news.
That's right. That's right. That's really
I don't
right.
care how we do it. Just
Yeah,
be in the news.
Yeah. And we are going to have forum with them. And next week, I'm going to engage also, and that's sad, but I will have to do that, to engage with Oracle, because I have many contacts there and I'm trying to avoid all the time to contact them because I want to first deal with SAP, right? But now, you know, as this change comes, I have to do my part. So, but I still hoping that eventually we are going to advance fast with this thing. So I have a meeting with them now in the beginning of July, and I have a meeting with them in the August. I have a meeting with them in August to organize again what we already did, and then we'll take from there. The true fact is that we deliver all on time in great quality, and always they was 3 weeks late, and that's really frustrates me because they postponed it because what they didn't. When becomes pressure for them, let's stop, we are running too fast. And I don't like that, but anyway, that's life. So we are going to advance them slowly in the future, and I learned it. That's what I can tell you. Any further question, any observation that you'd like to do, that's your time to do that. And I feel that Sue is thinking. And that's very important.
I'm always thinking, Ricardo, so which is a good thing, I suppose. Yeah, I was just, reflecting on everything that's being said, and I'm having a very similar challenge right now in building my own community, right? And experiencing the same kind of excitement at the beginning, when people come in and then nothing happens. And I think there are a lot of us here. So maybe one idea, because in my case, there's only 3 of us. So, we have a bandwidth problem too. But because there's a lot of us, one idea might be that, when we do get new members coming in, we already have the 400 or so, because there's a lot of us with a lot of different specialities, probably subjects with which we're more familiar or more at ease with than others. So it might be good to have some kind of, you mentioned a roadmap. It might be a good idea to have some kind of rota with themes where we could all say, right, we commit to chipping in on these themes, which are our specialities, the topics which we feel at ease with, and which we're just launching, what is your best practice around this? What is your challenge around this? And if each of us does that, we have our own specialities and we have a rota to follow, that will enable us to commit to doing some kind of animation once people actually get into the forum, and we can be the initiators of that, right? That might be an idea.
But wait a second, I did not got exactly your point. Can you further clarify? I did not understand exactly what you mean by that. Is to have a roadmap for the people. When they come on board, they get instructions. Everybody that comes on board, they get an email from me, not an email, but a message inside the system. Hey, hello, welcome, blah, blah. And I tell them what they have to read, everything, but it's not included what you mentioned.
No, it's for us. It's for us as trying to, let's say, initiate the conversations a bit more. That was the point. Yeah.
I think it's a good idea if we were to. I like the idea of a rota. So for Q4, and customer empathy. 2 or 3 of us keep a lookout for that. And then the next quarter, it might be another speciality is voice of the customer. So therefore, from your perspective, Ricardo, you've got 2 or 3 people keeping a specific watch out for that point for you, making sure the content is going there. Because I must confess, I'm a little sometimes. Is this the right thing? Is this the right quality? What's the current voice? What should I be sharing? And I then pull back on it, and I've got half a dozen kind of half-written pieces. Whereas if I had a focus, almost like a sprint model, really, for these 3 months, this is the sprint, this is what you're focusing on, and then 3 of us can have separate conversations about, I've seen a really good article, that's not so good, can I just check, would you think we should publish that? I think that could be really strong, and then it could give you as well, Ricardo, if we know you're talking to Oracle, so therefore please can we have a focus on making it up AI, then that could be, you could direct the themes that we look at, so it can align with the strategy you're trying to achieve. So we don't just pick a random topic, we align it, or it might be we notice, if we're attracting new members, hey, we seem to be getting a lot of members coming in who are specializing in research and insight. Okay, this is good. Let's focus our topics on those areas.
Yeah.
Good suggestion, Sue.
Yeah, that's it. I like it.
That's a great suggestion, and also Sue's suggestion is great. 1 second, focus it on.
And it keeps the momentum, doesn't it? And it keeps us all committed and on our toes as well, because otherwise, I mean, it's true, if you're writing an article, that takes time to do as well. But if we're having like bite-sized subjects, which we can just launch, and keep it going, then that keeps everybody engaged, doesn't it? Mm-hmm.
And I don't mind admitting I'm an introvert. So I'm intimidated by, a cast of 25, 30 to talk to, but actually working in 2 or 3, I can be quite productive and very happy then to build up content and work going forward. So that would suit to my strengths better as well. I'm sure some people are extroverts, but it's not my strength.
Me too. Yeah. All right. So Sue, can I take that with you, a part of this call, and then we see how to do that, and maybe with Christopher as well, so then we can advance that.
Yeah, great.
All right. And Alan, I can see you. Everything's okay?
Yep, all good.
But regarding what you said, Christopher, I also agree with you about the content that I'm posting there. I mentioned that before. I'm not satisfied as well, but the effort to put content, to find great content, is really tough without adding people that I don't want to add that. And because the material, if you go to Forbes, the majority of things are very shallow. Yes, it's very hard. So if you're going to bring the same for everyone, like the same that is outside, why they will be here, And so I'm doing for trying to bring more content. I'm trying to do some partnerships. Yes, that's the goal here. I think we need to have also a podcast from ourselves. I'm talking with CX Network, so I told them that they are interested in this idea. But maybe we can do by ourselves and lead that internally and put that everywhere. So then we have a weekly and everybody can take a turn in this thing. Like one time is Alan, one time is Carrie, one time is me, one time is Sue, or whatever, and then everybody can interview, everybody can participate in this thing, and it will be exposure for everyone. If everyone help to share, to comment, and et cetera, as I mentioned before, because liking is not enough. No, I know that, if you like me, but is that enough?
I think that's a great idea, Ricardo. I mean, if you need a common voice on them. So if you were to tee them up to say this week, we're going to have conversations between, Joanna and Lisa, who are going to talk about, and then it's just for those two to arrange a Zoom recording. And then it's really easy to, put it together, and it pushes the burden down to other people, but you've got control over it because, it's the ambassadors talking to each other, again, aligned to, you could say, these are the topics that I want to talk about at the moment. So we can keep everything. And I think to Graham's point, that then helps members go, I get what you're about, because I can see these common topics coming through, and I understand your perspective there on the quality of external material. We're then creating more of our own content. And like you, it's easier to talk than it is to write in terms of time efficiency as well. So that would be good.
Yeah, the idea is to have this team. I'm forming a team right now, exactly to help me lead that. Because if everything will have to pass through me, we'll get this done in 100 years. You understand? And I don't want this to happen. Because 100 years probably we all will not be here. So I'd like to advance that faster. So people that would like to help us to create this kind of vlog, yes, with interviews, that will be very easy. We'll have an intro, outro, boom, straightforward, with like 20 minutes interview, boom. Yeah, I'm really happy with the fast style of Sesconi, Federico, because I think he have a model that's 2 questions, boom, you talk. I was the only one that spoke more because I wanted him to talk about ECXO, but oftentimes it's very effective. I like the style. All right, and something that will be effective for the people, and then we can discuss many different topics and such. However, I would like to involve also the community on that, because it's not about us in the end of the day. I don't want to be CXPA that's all about us. I want to be about them. So we start, but they continue that, and I wanted them to participate, to take the lead as well. And that's the reason I want to have those conversations with the community, exactly to get them involved. Otherwise, it will be us telling the people what to do, and I don't think that's the way to advance a community. You have to feel part of that to be engaged. That's the way it works, and that's all. So I remember in CXPA when I was there, I was telling them about culture, that you cannot use one model for everyone, etc. And during the conversations of international expansion, they said, no, that's not right. We know what we are doing. We know what we are doing. So if you do that, that's you're really turning people off. That's what they did very well with me. So I don't want to use this kind of approach. I want to use like an open, giving opportunity for everyone, and then we are going to grow faster. Even if it's not somebody that's very, I see many people that they have ideas about CX, but they're not very deep on CX. But they can have the discussions because obviously they have something that we don't have. As they are doing something there, so they can talk about that. They can talk about connected with CX, obviously, or ECXO or whatever it is, design, etc. So there are so many opportunities here: how to ignite innovation, how to simplify a company, how to transform a company from a not cost or product-oriented company to a customer-centric company, etc. All those kinds of things can be answered. People, thank you very much for your time. Graham is helping us. Joanna, thank you very much as well. Graham, thank you. Thank you everyone for coming today. Carrie, thank you very much. Kirsty left, yes? I think Kirsty left.
I think she left already.
Yeah, many people left, all right. So thank you very much. Sorry that I talked so long, but I think this was very fruitful conversation today, and we're going to advance. Give me hope. All right, because I'm really doing many things. Lara left also. Still here?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. So we talk in the end, okay? So thank you very much, everyone, and have a great week.
Thank you, Ricardo.
And I'm going to send later, with the help of Graham and Joanna, the minutes of meetings.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
bye.
bye.
Thank you very much,
Bye-bye.
Joanna.
Have a great day, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, Sue. Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup. À bientôt.
Cheers. Talk later.
See you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So, Larinha, tudo bem? Tô pegando, tem que sair?
Daqui a pouco, sim.
Tá, então eu vou te falar bem rapidinho. Tá, semana que vem a gente pode avançar, se tu tem tempo. Como tá indo tuas coisas?
É que agora é final de semestre, né? Então
a gente pode esperar, porque eu tô fazendo outras coisas. Eu espero para quando tu vai estar livre para quando tu tem férias, se é que tu tem férias.
Sem ser nessa semana, na próxima já vai estar melhor.
Aí tu me fala uma semana antes. Tu quer dizer na próxima dia? Peraí.
Eu tenho que olhar.
Olha aí, daí me diz mais ou menos, a gente faz porque eu preciso que tu comece a tocar isso para frente.
Provavelmente sem ser na próxima semana, na outra.
Quer dizer, pelo dia 15?
Por aí.
Tá bem. Então daí a gente pega essa semana e a semana próxima do 20 a gente começa a avançar mais rapidão.
Tá bem.
Tem uma pergunta para ti sobre... Wait. Me fugiu a palavra. Peraí que eu tenho um troço para te perguntar. Adobe? Tu tá aprendendo Adobe?
Mais ou menos, não são muito... Eles não mostram muito pra gente, assim. A gente só mexe no que a gente precisa, que seria o Lightroom. Então...
Lightroom,
não sei...
Lightroom, tu tá falando só para iluminação?
Não, é que ele é para tratamento de imagem.
Ok, tu tá estudando os...
Isso eu sei.
A deep
mas
part.
Photoshop, essas coisas, não sei.
Tá bem, mas isso vai ser uma grande parte do teu futuro, né? Então eu vou te falar um negócio que eu tô pensando em fazer. Tô pensando em comprar uma licença
Uhum.
E aí eu vou te mostrar alguns estilos, não agora, mas nos próximos 2 meses. E aí tu me diz se tu quer a licença, eu te dou a licença e tu começa a tentar produzir nossos vídeos, que é um baita trabalhão, não sei se tu tem tempo para fazer isso. Mas daí tu vai ganhar experiência em em Adobe. Adobe é o melhor, né?
Uhum.
E não precisa ser agora, pode ser depois. Por enquanto eu posso pagar alguém, mas eu tô pensando no longo termo, entendeu?
Sim,
Se é
sim.
uma
Não,
coisa que tu quer
eventualmente
fazer,
eu vou querer aprender a mexer no editor de vídeo assim também.
isso é até importante, né? De qualquer jeito.
Uhum. Sim,
Quando tu participar das Ricardonian Superproduções, dirigindo, tu vai ter que saber tudo isso,
sim.
entendeu? É extremamente importante.
Uhum.
A gente vai começar com esse negócio de vídeos, etc, entendeu? Então, essa é a coisa. Tudo bem aí contigo?
Tudo tranquilo.
Tá bem.
Só na correria mesmo.
Não, é bom, é bom, é bom. Só te cuida lá na universidade, não marca bobeira e te lembra nunca dar a mão para alguém e botar a mão no rosto. Tem perspectiva para vocês pegarem a vacina?
Setembro.
Isso quer dizer o quê? Que tu já recebeu o convite?
Não, eles têm um plano, assim, que até setembro todos os adultos estejam vacinados.
Que eles
Mas isso
falam
daí é
e
por
que...
parte do governo do estado, né?
Tá, não importa. E qual é a vacina?
Sim, sim, sim. Ah, não sei. Não
Tá, nesse
especificaram
estágio da
só.
situação não importa a vacina, importa pegar a
É.
vacina.
É.
Entendeu? Esse é um negócio, tá bem. Então tá. Então a gente fala mais ou menos pelo dia 15, eu vou te manter informado ali no Instagram,
Uhum,
mas a gente
tá
fala
bem.
ali, tá bem? Boa semana para ti, bom trabalho, te cuida bem lá na
Boa
universidade.
semana.
Eu acho um erro deles trazer o pessoal de volta. Eu tava pensando nisso outro dia quando eu te vi naquela foto.
É que tinha coisas que a gente não tinha como avançar sem ser no prático, mas não deu nada, até agora, não deu nada de errado, assim.
Só não tem gente muito louca lá, né, para fazer
Não,
bobagem.
não.
Isso é importante. Tá bem. Te cuida bem aí, tá? Boa semana e bom dia para ti.
Boa
Obrigado por ter vindo
semana.
aí. Bye, bye.
Bye.